Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another podcast. And today we have a returning guest who is actually our first ever guest on the BISP podcast. We have Coach Jonathas. Hello.
Hello, good
How are you
afternoon.
feeling?
I'm feeling well, thank
That's
you.
good. Could you please introduce yourself so that people who don't know you can get to know you a bit more?
Yeah, sure thing. First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure to get back here and talk about sports, particular football, and a little bit about life and things that we've been developing in school.
And could you give us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so my name is Jonathas Candido. I'm director of football at BIS. I'm 40, Brazilian, and I'm a bachelor in sports and science. I'm currently doing my post degree in sports management, and which I'm been enjoying a lot. I have been working in school for the past 10 years, developing the football program. And I'm also a son of Antonio and Zelina, a brother of Natalia, a father of Noah and Tel, and a husband of Michelle, which I love a lot.
Oh, thank you for the early shout out. And how did you end up joining the school?
Right. So I used to work at Cruzeiro back in Brazil. I was the head of the international department where we used to receive a lot of players and coaches from all over the world. And back in 2013, I had a visit of two BRSP alumni, Micah and Jonah. So they went to Brazil to do a football camp. So that was when I met them, and I got to know about the school in 2013. So since then we've been I was talking with them in the beginning, and then probably 6 months later I end up here in the school with a partnership with BIS Cruzeiro and Phuket FC, a professional club at that time. So that's how everything started.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. Thank you. And recently we had a big tournament in school where a lot of teams and a lot of international schools joined us. Could you tell us a little bit more about how the soccer sevens went?
Yeah, the soccer sevens went really well. I think after COVID, everybody was a little bit concerned about traveling. So we had one last year that was good straight after COVID. But I think this year one, it was much better. So we had way more schools attending, and obviously more competitive. And it was a very good atmosphere, and everything. I think had a great time playing here.
And how were the results?
The results was really good. I think probably better than what we expect. Soccer 7 is a very dynamic football tournament because it's 7-a-side, short time, very exciting, and we never know what could happen, right? How the game could end up is very unpredictable. So we put 13 teams in the competition in 8 age groups. So we place 6 teams in the finals for the cup, which was a great achievement itself. We end up winning 4 cup age groups and 2 second places. So we have other age groups that finished third and fourth as well. But I think out of 8, we won 4 and placed 2 in second. It was a very expressive result for us. So we were very pleased with the team's performance. We're very happy with the players' behavior and attitude inside of the pitch, and the hard work that they put prior to the competition just paid off.
Yeah. Aside from their hard work, did the coaches have to put in like a little more preparation or like training for the players?
Yeah, we been training since day one when they return from the holidays, and we have a full calendar this year with a lot of competitions and tournaments. So we have a few competitions prior to the soccer sevens that help to build up to the tournament. And we've been training every single day since the first day of school. So we put a lot of work before the tournament, and that's extremely happy with the dedication of the players and the coaches. And then when those things are in place, the chances to win obviously are much better.
Right. And could you tell us a little bit more about how like the training process is like the methods you use, or what is different from other academies?
Right. When you talk about training methods and philosophy, we're talking about identity, right? So what we want to create here in a school is to have our own identity to play the game. So that identity started to be built back when I was in Brazil. And we create a methodology, and then we brought that to BIS. And since 2013, we have been adapting to the environment, to the level of players, to the goals of the program. And we've been implementing and creating new things every year. But talking on technical side itself, we want to play a possession game where everybody have, to share the ball and be part of the game and have responsibilities. So you can only do this if you become a protagonist in the game. So if you take actions, if you play with confidence, with courage, and in a competitive environment, which is really important for us. It's not just about winning games. We want to make sure that we play well. And to make sure we do this, our players must be prepared to play that way. So that's why we invest a lot in our trainings. So for some age groups, as an example, they train over 12 hours a week.
Oh my God.
So to make sure that during the games and the tournaments, they perform the way we expect, they have to prepare for that. So preparation to us, it's key. If the result will come, it will depend on many factors because we don't have control of the result, but we have control over the preparation. So we make sure that we prepare a lot in all four pillars of the sport, which is the technical, the tactical, the physical, and mental, to make sure that we give the players the tools that they need to perform well when the game comes. So that's probably, if I can make a resume of what we do in our football program. We want to create confident, intelligent players with autonomy that take good decisions on the pitch, but at the same time, they're very high capable on a technical side, very strong mentally, that can cope with the demands of the game as well. So that's a little bit what we try and do here.
And we have had guests before, like from Cruzeiro players, and I've asked them about their daily schedule. And usually they have morning gym sessions, and then in the evening they have training sessions. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so especially with secondary students, when they start to get a little bit older and a little bit more serious about football, we are trying to make their schedule to look like a professional club or what they're going to face in college later on. So the demands are very high because we want to prepare them for the next step. So they have a full week of trainings after school, normally 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, and twice a week in the morning. So they have an early morning session, which is, for some of them, it's really painful because they have to wake up very early. However, it builds up discipline, because without discipline, they can't do anything, right? So we are trying to achieve that in our students, creating that routine that they will understand they need to do that if they want to take the next step. So it is hard, but once they get the routine and the discipline to do it, so they will do it, they won't see it, they won't feel it because they got into it.
I think so too. And could you tell us a little bit more about the new developments happening at Cruzeiro?
Right, so we have some exciting news in the program. One is the full calendar that we finally had a chance to do this year, with all the competitions that we planned. So we are kind of going one by one, and we are giving to the players a very good exposure and a very good experience in terms of competitions. We are getting to travel a lot. And those trips, they are very important because they do not build only the sports side. So we build as well the human side and the skills that they have to learn in the social aspect of the trips, to be more responsible of themselves and time management as well. So that's really important for me. So being able to travel and give to them that experience, that's something that it's really important and it's been happening this year. In addition, we have just built our indoor football pitch, which was something that we were missing in our program due to the bad weather that we have and do not have a place, to train during that under that circumstances was something that was hitting us a little bit. Now having the new Astro pitch, it's giving to us bigger capacity. It's more comfortable to especially to our younger players, to have a shade when it's very hot and when it's raining, so they're very comfortable to do that. So it's a very big addition to our football program, and we are very, very happy with that. On top of this, we have a new member of staff. It's a new goalkeeper coach that at the end of last year, our goalkeeper coach left, and then we had a gap without a goalkeeper coach, which it's a position in the coaching staff extremely important because it is a football player in that position that it's very specific. So we need somebody capable to work with the goalkeeper separately from the group to make sure that we give to that position or to that player the attention that it needs. That's it.
Yeah, and you don't coach goalkeepers, right? Personally?
I don't personally. I don't have that skill. That's why we brought Coach Marco from Brazil. Coach Marco is from São Paulo. He's also a physical educator and specialist in goalkeeping. And he has been developing a fantastic work with our goalkeepers. So in the program now we have over 15 goalkeepers, and we split them in different age groups from primary to secondary. And it's a very important, obviously, position in football. So we need to dedicate a special attention to them as well. So doing specialized goalkeeping training and giving to them a general understanding about the position and everything else. So having a specialist person to do this now, it makes our program much stronger than was before. So I'm very pleased with this new addition, and I think he is causing a very positive impact in the program overall.
I heard only the goalkeepers have sessions this week.
Yeah,
so a bit of complaints in the boarding house.
The goalkeepers, they never stop, right? So usually they are the first ones to arrive in the training and the last ones to finish.
Oh my God.
So normally they work more than everybody else. That's why they're very special, right?
Yeah.
So because nobody really sees the work that they put, behind the scenes, but everybody sees the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
So it's a very tough position where you require a lot from the players that decide to become a goalkeepers. That's why you need to prepare them really well for the challenge that they will face. Because a striker can miss 10 goals and score one, then nobody will talk about the ones they miss. But a goalkeeper can, save the entire game, but last minute he concede a goal. Everybody will only talk about that. Yeah, so it's a position that it's a very tricky.
And could you tell us if you were part of naming the new indoor pitch?
Yeah, that's a very personal thing to me and very special in the same hand. The cover pitch was named after Jeff Lamantia, which was our former AD in the school. He was the first person that I worked with when I first arrived, alongside that Mr. Stockings, that was the head of PE at that time. So Mr. Lamantia and I were really close, and he put a lot into the football program, and it was a person that we miss every day. So I was really happy when the school decided to name the pitch after him. I think he deserved that a lot because he really worked and he really pushed hard to improve and to develop our football program. And then his name will be forever in this school and now in the AstroTurf pitch.
Yeah. And before we had guests from the BTEC program, we had Mr. Holmes and we had Sarah Omachi. So do you think the BTEC is a sports related course?
Yeah, I think the BTEC course came to open up opportunities, not just to our athletes, but everybody in general that would like to work with the sports industry in the future. Um, but for the athletes, especially that have such a busy schedule with trainings and trips and everything else, I think the BTEC course gives to them the flexibility that they need, especially for those that would like to work towards the sports industry. Um, it helps them a lot, or at least gives to them another opportunity for
Yes.
those that do not want to do IB, that want to go to US, for example, and want to focus on the sports development. But then they have an opportunity to do the BTEC course, which is a very practical course for those that are interested on the sport, which a coursework work approach. For those that do not like much exams, that's a very good alternative as well. And I think the sports industry, it's so big, nowadays, and it's growing a lot, and there's a lot of opportunities. I think the BTEC course can prepare those students for those challenges in the future.
And do you know any careers it could lead to potentially in the future?
Apart from coaching, which is it's obvious,
Yeah.
they could go to the coaching side, but also they could go to the marketing scenario, which is it's huge in sports nowadays, as well on the physio side. That's also really big on the management side as well. So not only in football clubs, but all the other sports and confederations, and there are many avenues that they could navigate in the sports industry. For those that have been dedicating their life to sport and to football in this case here, it's a way that they keep working with the sport, maybe not as a player, which is the first step they try to do it, but later on they could work in the football industry, which is it's a great pathway as well. So I strongly recommend the BTEC course in our school. I think the students that are currently doing are very happy with the course, and hopefully next year we can get new
More
additions and
students.
more students engaged with the course, and I think it will be really good.
Yeah. And I have a lot of friends who are also Cruzeiro players, especially from my year, and they have to sleep early, wake up early for trainings. And how would you say student athletes have to manage their schedule so that they can balance both football and academics?
Yeah, it's not an easy task, but it's manageable and it's achievable. As long as they understand what it takes, as long as they have a goal and they work towards that goal, they will understand that create that routine is extremely important for them. Because at the end of the day, they are athletes and they have to be prepared for what they are facing. So time management is extremely important, and probably more than time management, I think the students sometimes have to sacrifice some other things. So that party that everybody's going on the weekend maybe is not going to suit to that athlete because he or she will have a game on the next day. So we need to make sure that he goes to bed early and prepare for that. So at the end of the day, you need to have a very strong purpose to be doing that. So if you really want to do that, you have to make sure that you prepare yourself for it. And then, like I said before, preparation is key in everything, and sports not different, right? So in order to build up that discipline, the student athlete needs to understand that sometimes you have to give up some other stuff, because it doesn't match, right, with what you're doing. So lifestyle, life habits, sometimes a friendship that's not taking you to anywhere or is to really not taking you away from your focus. Social media nowadays is something that if you do not control that well, that can distract you from your focus and from your school and for everything else. So again, it's a decision that somebody needs to take, and they need to understand that that decision will carry some other responsibilities on it.
Yeah. And you mentioned you have a full planned calendar for what's coming next for the Cruzeiro Academy. Could you give us a little glimpse about upcoming events or tournaments, any trips?
Yeah, we had a very busy term on, and we already putting our heads towards term 2 events. So we have a trip to Malaysia. It's a tour that we're gonna do and play against some of the best academies in KL. So this is gonna go. We're gonna go on this Friday, and we stay there for four nights, playing 5 matches. We'll have a Christmas break. Some of the players are going for trials. Some of the players are going for camps, and most of the players will be taking a time and break and rest, get back to their families and to their homes for Christmas. But after that, when we come back in Jan, we have straight away a trip to Bangkok. Our girls under 13s and under 18s are going there to play the Bangkok Soccer League Girls Tournament, which is a international tournament, extremely important competition. We also have 3 back-to-back tournaments in Samui again, which is always give to us a very good level of competition, and we're very happy to travel there. Then we have, after Feb break, we have Harrow Bangkok, which is another big international school tournament. We have the BSL boys, and then we have the GSSL Singapore that after a long time we're coming back to this competition. It's a very prestigious competition in Asia. And then we have Patna Sevens towards the end of the school year. And we'll close the year with our summer trip, which it's a highlight of our program as well.
Right. And could you tell us a bit more about how the trips went last time? I'm sure the guys went to Portugal, the guys and girls last year. How did it go?
Yeah, I think our football trips are probably, like I said, one of the highlights of our program. It is the time that we have a chance to connect a little bit more with the players, because it's very intense depending on how the length of the trip. And we get to connect really well with the students and see what the challenge that they're going to have and work towards that. It's a really, really good part. The trips last year went really well. So our summer trip, we went to Portugal. It was a great competition, very good level. I think everybody got a very good experience there. And then we are preparing now for this summer one. We are going to Spain this summer to play the Costa Blanca Cup in Benidorm, which is a tournament with over 30 years of history, with fantastic level, great facilities that we're going to play, and the competition is super high level. So we are taking 3 age groups, 2 boys and 1 girls. So we're very excited for this new challenge, and we've been working a lot to make sure that we perform well in this one too.
And could you tell me a little bit more about Bangkok and if there are going to be trials happening in Bangkok?
Yeah, we have a Cruzeiro branch in Bangkok that I help to manage that as well. So we are planning to have an open trial, probably February. We don't have the date yet, at the Cruzeiro facilities. And it's an opportunity for the Bangkok student athletes that wish to come to BIS to have an opportunity to do a trial. And we're also going to do one in KL, probably straight after late Feb and March, with the same goal, to give an opportunity to student athletes to showcase themselves, and then if everything goes well, have a chance to receive a scholarship to come to the school.
And as a coach, do you have any main objectives or goals for the rest of the year?
Definitely, we are working towards the players' development. This is what our program it's about. Despite to be a collective sport, we have to look into the players' development, because they're coming here to improve themselves and then to take another step after school. Or sometimes they don't even finish the school. If they have a better opportunity, they will leave and go for that. My personal goals as a director of football, it's always to work towards the players' goals, and we try to our best to improve them here in
Yeah.
trainings and games, and advising them on the weaknesses and what they have to work, and give to them tips and work towards their weaknesses while they're here. And when they start to get towards of the cycle in a school, we start to work towards the future moves. So connection with clubs to do trials, or even connection with colleges in US where they want to go. So that's my personal goal for the program. But also we have a very strong football program in primary, which we've been enjoying a lot to coach the youngsters in the school. So, and they're very motivated, very excited with football. So we want to keep pushing the program in the primary school. The kids have a lot of passion for the sport, and we've been attending a few competitions as well, and give to them experience in football festival, and we've been pushing football in primary. So that's something that I personally want to develop more in the school. I think the third goal it is to push even more the girls football in the school. We want to keep attracting new students that want to do football. Our currently students, we keep encouraging them to carry on in football and keep playing the game. Try find opportunities to play, which is more difficult than the boys in Asia. So, but we're looking for competitions. We're looking to other ways to expose the girls in a football scenario as well. So the girls football is something that we are really looking and try to improve and implement new things as well.
And to those who are graduating soon, they're going to go off to universities or join professional clubs soon. How do the coaches support such players?
Yeah, I think everything's about connections at the end, right? Because football, it's a very tricky place, and sometimes some of the things are out of the athlete's hands. So we need to try to at least put them in contact with people that will open up doors for them in the future. In professional football, we have a very big network in Asia and Europe, and some other places that we are open up a little bit more connections now. So we will connect them with coaches, set up trials to make sure they have their chance. If they, everything goes well, they will have the next step and play professional football. In US, it's a slight different scenario because they're going to education and going to the sports as well. So the school is responsible to set up the educational side, all the academics, applications and all the information that they need. And we work towards the sports side, connecting with the coaches, helping them to find out what's the best profile, what's the best school for them, because this is really important. Where in US they want to go and where they're going to feel more comfortable, where they will have more opportunities, what's the size of the school they want to go, what's the level of the school that they want to go, what division. So we help to guide throughout that process as well. So our function with those students that are leaving is to make sure that we try our best to create, that relationship outside of the football.
And there are a lot of talented star players in the Cruzeiro Academy. So what do you personally think makes a really good Cruzeiro player?
So we have a lot of talented students currently in the program. We had a lot in the past that now are playing professional football or doing really well in US. I think the biggest difference and what we want to really try keep pushing is the mentality. Because training, technical training and everything else, everybody can do that. But in order to really reach the next level, you have to have a strong mentality. And on top of this, I think your sense of purpose needs to be there too. Because it's everybody wants to win, everybody wants to play professional, but not everybody that want to invest daytime in preparation, right? So I think when people come to us, they realize that they have to work, they have to invest time, they have to look after themselves, they have to look after their nutrition, their sleep, and all the factors that are around the performance, right? once people come to us, they realize all of those things because they have people around them that have the same goals. You know, they share the same goals, they share the same wishes, and they will work towards that. I think that inspire themselves, you know, and they start to understand what it takes to achieve what they want. Because one thing is that I want to become professional football. How many kids do not want to become professional football? So the problem is how many of them want to really prepare for that? Because it's not easy, right? The process is hard. There is no guarantees that you're gonna make pro tomorrow. Zero guarantees. Okay, so it's a risk that they take, but they are following their dreams. You know, and then we are here to support that. But in the same hand, we have a very good system that, for me, probably it is the best thing that we have here, that we can balance football or the sport in a high level as well the academics. So if at the end of the day they end up, you know, not making pro, or they have the academics guarantee, so they can pursue the next step, they go to university, or you know, they didn't have to sacrifice the academics because of the sport, which is in many places you go around the world. In Brazil, for example, if you really want to become pro, in some moment you have to sacrifice your academics. So here we are giving to the students and to the families the opportunity to do both in high quality. I think that's really the biggest difference in our in our program.
I think parents would love to hear that. And are you currently recruiting players?
Yes, we are. Our applications are open now. So we are start to receive many applications since the soccer sevens. And we are looking now to recruit players for the next academic year. So we are currently starting working on this.
All right. So to all the prospective students, this is like your sign to start applying if you're really passionate about football and want to give Cruzeiro a try. And now we have covered a lot about football. So should we dive in a bit deeper into you as a person?
Yeah, sure thing.
Yeah. So let's start with what your greatest achievement is in your whole life.
My whole life, or here?
In here, school? Let's say here first.
Okay. I think many people would think that I will say that all the trophies, all the dozen trophies that we have in our cabinet, or you know, all the things that we've won, you know. But for me personally, my biggest achievement here in school, it is my connection with the students. And when I mean connection, I mean the impact that I have on the student's life. And then when a student come back to me when they finish school, or when they drop me an email saying that how much impact I had on that person's life, I think that's my biggest accomplishment, you know, because at the end of the day, when you are educator, when you're a coach, you're talking about you mentor someone, you're talking about you give back to someone your previous experience, what you have learned on your, you know, university time, on your coaching life, and then you're preparing that person to achieve what they want. So I think for me, my biggest achievement is not when somebody sign a pro contract, but it is the impact that I have on that person's life. And then very often they come back to me saying that, and that's bring me a lot of joy, because that's my life goal, you know, is to really give back to people and to try help people the best way as I can. So probably that's my biggest accomplishment in a school.
Okay. And any great memories or favorite memories you have at the school?
Well, I've had many great memories here in these past 10 years. Probably all the trips we had for different places, you know, in Europe, in Brazil, we had 2 great experiences there, taking the students, which was unbelievable. You know, they had an experience to really go to a, you know, to a real football club and live there, and really understand how it takes to become a pro, and understand the social life of people in Brazil as well, the challenges that people face there. And they come back here with a different perspective about life and football.
Right.
So for me, give that kind of experience to our students is something that I feel really grateful about it that we do. So yeah, that's really probably my biggest memories come from experiences that we offer to the students
Right.
in the past. I think more than win things, which we always play for win and we try to win, but more than that, I think for me, it is the experiences that and the connection that we had with all the students.
And you mentioned you have a family here. So can you tell us a little bit about how it is like raising a family here in Phuket?
Oh, it's amazing. I wish that I could give to them a little bit of my time more than I currently do. I have a very busy life, and quite often it's away on trips and things like that. But all spare time, all free time that I have, I get back to them. I dedicate to them because my family, it is my structure, So every time that I need, I go back to my family, and they're always there for me with open heart. So I do everything for them, and raise a family in Phuket. It's amazing because it gives to you a sense of security, especially for me coming from Brazil, that we have a lot of social issues there, and security is one big issue. Living in Phuket, I feel safe. I feel that my family is safe. We are connected with nature, which is very important for me and for my family as well. Also, we can get everything we want here, in terms of nice restaurants or good experiences, activity for the kids. I think overall Phuket is a fantastic place. Have the issues as any other place in the world, but I feel like it's a very good place to raise your kids, has a very good lifestyle, and I enjoy the sunset.
Yeah. And the currency is so good.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what do you do on your days off when you're not training or you have free time?
Basically, I spend time with my family. That's what I enjoy to do the most. To play with my kids, to be with my wife. Like I said, I spend a lot of time away from them. So every time that I can, I will give back to them the time that they miss when I'm not there. So playing with my kids, spend time with my wife. That's my my thing when I'm not working.
Right. I think we have covered a lot about you too. Are there any final remarks that you want to say about your life or about football, anything in general?
Well, I'm a very grateful person. First of all, God to give me opportunity to be here and to have this experience. Very grateful to BIS because it opened the doors for me, when I first came, and really gave me freedom to work and to develop the football program. So I'm very grateful for BISP, all the staff from the gardener to the headmaster. Everyone has helped me a lot. I'm very grateful for the way they treat me and my family and the respect that we have in a school. Just want to thank a lot my staff, so all my football coaches, that we share our daily routine and work. So they're very dedicated people, very professional and very knowledgeable in what they're doing, and they do it in a very good level of passion, which is it's really important for me. I'm very grateful to work with something that I love, which is football. Since young ages, you always dream to be a football player back in Brazil. To have a chance to work with my passion, it gives me a lot of pleasure to wake up every day in the morning and do what I like. And thank all my students, athletes, for their patience, for their dedication, for believe in the program, and for work hard every day. And without them, probably the program wouldn't be successful as it is. And obviously, thank all the parents that support children in this journey, in a school, in football, and in life. All our parents are extremely supportive in the program, always being present and always interest to see what's going on and to discuss things. I think parents are a very important part of the process, when we talk about, players development. So all the parents, my big thank for your trust, to put your child in our hands to take care of the development.
And there are a lot of prospective families and students watching our podcast. So do you have any message to those who are interested in joining Cruzeiro?
Sure. For those that are, really looking for a sports program in general, because we have all the sports here as well. We have tennis and we have swimming and we have golf. If you are looking to a high performance sport combined with a high level education, and for those that wish to live in boarding, to have a health and social life in boarding, I strongly recommend the school. It's probably one of the best setups in terms of sports education and boarding life that I know in Asia. Because here your child will find the balance between all those three things in a very safe environment, in a very challenging environment, that he or she will find everything that they need in order to accomplish what they want in the future. So, and then they will have a lot of people to support. On our side, a very strong team of coaches that will be working towards your child's goal.
Right. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Jonathas, for coming today. And we got to know a lot more about you as a person, you as a coach, and a lot about how the Cruzeiro program works here, and a lot about the new facilities that the Academy has to offer. Do you want to do any final shout outs to anyone?
I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Thank you very much for hosting. Okay. And thank you for BSP marketing department to create those channel opportunities for the students, for the staff, to talk a little bit, to get to know people a little bit more. And yeah, very, very thankful for everything.
All right. Do you want to say bye to the camera?
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. See you next time.
See you.